This is going to be a complete cluster truck.
It is.
Okay, level 1. Let's go.
Jump in from truck to truck. I'm already doing far superior than I was a minute ago when I did a practice run. Excellent work. Level complete.
I got style points.
I got style point. How many did you get? I got 6, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, crumbs.
How do you do style? Can you like a little kickflip or something? What makes it stylish?
I don't know. You can't exactly... I don't know what constitutes... Oh, okay, I was trying to be stylish and I died.
Okay, I will be stylish by... Oh, dying as well.
I don't think I can be stylish and do this. It's just free running, isn't it?
Oh, you can sprint. Excellent.
Didn't you read that?
I've not had a chance to yet because it doesn't need sprinting in this game as far as I can see.
Oh, I got an ace score.
If I land this... That was feckin' awesome.
Did you land it?
I did. Well, I landed in the goal. I probably would have died. So, Clustertruck. Jumping from truck to truck. Like you don't give a fuck. Hope you do. You don't muck up. Just keep on going. Through the desert. Do you think we should ever play that game?
What game?
That Penn and Teller game.
What Penn and Teller game?
Where it's the desert bus that goes on for hours and hours and hours in real time. And you can't skip it. And you've got to steer it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Penn and Teller game? I didn't even know they made a game.
They did a game which it's like a... what's the word? I landed it. Fuck it. They did a game, like a compilation of lots of games. One of them is called, I think, Desert Bus. And it's... You drive from... I don't know exactly. Let's say it's Texas to, I don't know, North Dakota or something. That's not accurate at all. But anyway, and it does it in real time. There's a dodgy steering wheel, so it always veers off to the left of the thing of the road. If you stop at any point, the tow truck comes out and tows you back to the beginning, and you have to get
so close,
sort of like 24 hours. To the other end, and you can't stop.
Wait, so it's real time. You've got to play the game for 24 hours,
and you can't fake it. you can't jerry rig your controller to only go in one direction. So when we say should we play it, the answer is no. Unless we ever do like some sort of charity special thing.
I can't think of any reason why we would play it.
For the lols. There's a phrase I never use.
I got crushed by buildings.
I haven't seen a building yet. I keep failing.
I'll tell you what, the insurance on these trucks must be horrific.
Fuck. That's what happens when you press the please sprint button.
Yeah, if this was set in England, it'd be white van man.
If it's just set in England, this is much easier. You could just step across them.
Yeah, because they'd all be in a line because they'd be stuck in traffic.
They wouldn't be moving.
When was the last time you were in a traffic jam?
Well, you see, I live in the country now, and what they call a traffic jam around here is not a traffic jam. It is a 2-minute ride to work. Worst thing we get around here is there might be, well, I'll say sheep in the road. I haven't seen sheep in the road for like a year. Oh, bollocks.
Where are you, Wales?
No, I'm in Suffolk. But... No, actually, probably the nearest traffic jam is if I go somewhere like Colchester or Ipswich, somewhere like that.
I don't think I've ever been to Ipswich.
I have been spoiled in the last few years because I don't have to worry too much about traffic jams anymore. There is nothing around here like I used to get just going to work. When I used to work what we'd call 20 minutes from my house. Yeah, it's 20 minutes, but it might be 40 minutes on your way home or something. Just because you're not moving for most of it. You do tend to move around here. But everyone around here complains. But it's always traffic jams. It's not. It's like twice a day. The traffic will slightly go slowly.
Wait. How many times are they in their car? Twice a day? Because that's 100%.
I mean, it slows down. I mean, so it's a town, and the traffic slows down around the busy times of the day. Because there's only sort of one way in and one way out. Well, of course it does, but it's moving. It's not like it's stopped. I was in worse traffic jam actually on Sunday because I went to see I went to have dinner with my parents because it was celebrating my nan's what would have been 100th birthday. I mean, she's not been with us for about 10 years now, but it would have been 100th birthday, and it's a good excuse for us to meet up. So I went to see my parents in Abridge.
Oh, right.
And I got stuck in a massive traffic jam just because there were some temporary traffic lights like 10 minutes from the restaurant we were supposed to meet at, and that held us back an extra half hour.
But the problem with Abridge is that bridge, the actual humpback bridge, is an absolute nightmare.
Well, the only issue I had was they put temporary traffic lights just after like a 3-way set of actual traffic lights, so that the temporary traffic lights would stop anyone crossing from my lane into the other lane, and every time our one went red, everyone from the left-hand turn would turn into the oncoming traffic, so when it turned back to green for us, there's nowhere for us to go. So everyone would just sit there. Oh, I'm doing crap at this now.
This is actually really hard.
Yeah. Until you suddenly do a really good manoeuvre, and instead of telling yourself that was a fluke, you go, yeah, I meant to do that.
No, everything I've done so far is a complete fluke.
When was the last time you were stuck in a proper traffic jam?
Do you know what? I can't really remember, but... Oh, I can, actually. So, obviously I work in the city, and we used to have an office over the west side of London.
What's that?
Near Marylebone Road. And when the tube fucked up, I could actually drive to work.
Oh.
Now, the problem was that I had to pick up some of my colleagues, and they kind of fucked up my route. So I had to drive through the centre of London, which was a fucking nightmare. It took us 4 hours to get to work. Whereas if I just went the way that I go, which is around the M25 and then down one of the main roads, it took about an hour.
Okay.
But it was awful. That was probably the worst.
It's not good driving in London. It's worse trying to park in London. But yeah, when I used to be my old job years ago, some of that would involve driving a big van around and trying to park outside the building, and you have to unload a lot of equipment as well. So you try and get as close to the. Oh. That's a game in itself, actually. They should make a game called Parking in London, with heavy equipment trying to get into a building.
Copyrighted. That's our game.
That's legally. You can easily do it by just pulling up and stopping, which is what everyone ends up doing. But we got a few parking fines for that, but we try not to. Yeah, I hated that driving in London. I've never done it on purpose by choice. I'd far rather go around the M25 than go through London. Having said that, my dad did that every day for like 30 odd years, so what I'm trying to say is I'm not my dad.
He might have been better at this game than you are. It's probably better than me. I think I've been stuck on the same level for about 5 minutes.
I do wonder my dad's levels of comprehension of computer games. One of my biggest regrets, and my dad's still alive, by the way, I just want to point this out, so it's not a thing I couldn't undo, is that I never really played games with my dad, sort of like computer games. He might have heard me swearing at Sonic the Hedgehog or something years ago, or...
How old were you? Like 10?
Sonic the Hedgehog was out when we were at school, so probably like 13, something like that. And where am I going here? And I think I've just assumed that my dad wasn't interested. So I remember when I was playing the first Red Dead Redemption, not the first, the first Red Dead Redemption, the second Red Dead, whatever. And he sort of just asked me what it was, and I think I was in that sort of I wasn't a teenager by any means by this point. I was much, much older than a teenager. But I was sort of moody teenager, like, oh, he's not interested really. He's just, oh, why are you asking me these questions, Dad? Oh, it's just a game. You wouldn't be interested. I finished the story, so there's no plot anymore. Blah, blah, blah. And then about a year and a half later or something, I thought about it. And I thought, he was actually showing an interest in my hobby. And I didn't in any way help. You know, he might have actually wanted to play it.
Such a bad son, Jason.
I know. We could have had a proper father-son moment. I was such a little arse. I say little arse. I was probably in my late 30s. That I didn't take him up on it. And I thought, if I had a kid, and obviously at that age I probably could have had a kid. Oh, don't jump backwards off the truck. That doesn't work.
Well, you still got time for it.
And I tried to say, hey kid, what's this about? I'm hinting to my kid, I want to play, or let me have a go, or at least tell me about what you're playing, and I might get it for myself. But I've just always assumed that my dad is not interested, and therefore never bothered to talk about it to him.
My cat is wet. He's been outside. He's soaking wet. And he's looking at me like he wants some food, so I've just...
You need to work on your Mrs. Slocum catchphrase as well. But okay.
Mrs. Slocum, what? From... Are you being served? Is that the right one?
She'd always come in and go, oh, my pussy is moist or something. But of course she's always talking about her feline companion. But every week there's an issue with her pussy.
Oh, there's no...
Do you feel like you're progressing in this game at all?
Nope. I've literally been stuck in the same level.
Driving through London, the game. Speaking of which, I used to very much enjoy The Getaway. I think we've talked about this before, actually. And The Getaway 2 Black Friday. Or Black Monday, whatever it's called. Because that was literally just driving around London in a sort of GTA-esque... what's the name of that guy that directed Lock, Stock?
Guy Ritchie.
That's the guy. Well, the guy. That's the guy. He's the guy.
Literally the guy.
Yeah, it's sort of that sort of Cockney London. It wasn't quite as comedic because that was a bit more played straight, but it was that sort of, I'm a Cockney geezer. I'm going to fuck you up. Big style. I used to like that, and that was partly because it was driving around what was supposedly a recreated London, like accurately. And I mean, it was relatively accurate. I mean, I could easily go, well, that alleyway's missing, and there aren't, it's only got 4 different kinds of shops on every road, but they look correct. You could use it as a guide. But it annoyed the hell out of me. You couldn't actually unlock free roam until after you completed the game, so that may or may not be correct.
Do you know what? I watched a Guy Ritchie film. It was shit.
Now, was it the Robin Hood one?
Yes.
I was thinking of watching that this weekend, and I didn't.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, it's really, really terrible.
What about it do you think made it terrible?
The plot, the acting.
But the plot is a well-established story, isn't it?
Oh, no. This is completely different. It's his twist on it. But it's basically Guy Ritchie trying to take modern London slang and
put it into a medieval setting.
And kind of like put it into the kind of the medieval setting.
Well, that didn't do too badly in
terrible film.
I think A Knight's Tale worked okay, and that was a modern twist on it.
Yeah, but that was a comedy.
Oh, is it not a comedy?
No.
Oh, I assumed it would be. Or at least a light-hearted, Oh!
No. This is a full-on piece of shit.
Fuck! Sorry, nearly made that.
And it's actually funny because I watched another new Robin Hood film at the weekend, and that was shit as well. Oh. No. Again, it was a serious drama.
Do you have a favourite Robin Hood story? Is it Prince of Thieves? Is it the TV show that was on for a bit?
Prince of Thieves is good. The one with the foxes is good.
The one with the foxes, yes, the Disney one. That is the ultimate one. There's the one starring Keith Chegwin. Keith Chegwin. He's in one. I think he's in Son of Robin or something.
Really?
Look it up, kids. Also look up who's Keith Chegwin and learn how to say his name. He's still alive, isn't he, Keith Chegwin? I don't doubt that he is. I'm sure he's
dead.
Is he dead?
No, I think he's dead. Because wasn't he married to Maggie Philbin?
They got divorced years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think there was a thing, and I was reading the obituary where she wrote...
He did suffer from a lot of fake news for a while about his past and stuff, so I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up.
Maybe that was it then.
A tragic loss. I was reading today about John Carpenter commenting on his own obituary or something. Oh. Right, I'm going to do this one. When I say do this, there's not actually an objective, is it, other than get as far as you can? Clustertruck.
Right, next level.
You've got to another level?
I'm on 1.10 or that's just unfunny. What it's doing now with these whirly things.
Okay, I don't think I've got to those. I think I'm still suffering on through the initial rampage. I just keep getting to a bit where there's nothing to land on.
This is like a terrible version of Mad Max. Sorry,
everyone's a white van man.
Yeah.
In a world where only plumbers and...
It's the apocalypse and only white box trucks are left.
Well, they built them to last, didn't they?
Oh, fuck me. Come on.
I've also been watching a lot of things about either moving into tiny houses or living in a vehicle. These are suggested videos on my feed. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
And the amount of work that goes into turning a van or a truck into a house is so much.
I've got to the forest world. Ooh. By the way, don't try this at home, kids. If you happen to be in a desert or a forest and there are loads of white trucks around, don't try hopping between them.
However, if you're over 18, give it a shot. You've seen Teen Wolf, you know what it's all about. Oh.
That was your favourite film, though, Teen Wolf.
It wasn't my favourite film. It was a film I watched a lot of. I was much more of a Back to the Future fan, and as such, that led to the Michael J. Fox watch whatever he's in, and that was a film he was in, and it's a very enjoyable film. I'm also very fond of like horror werewolf type stuff. When I say horror werewolf, I mean like horror themed. I'm talking like Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's got the Beach Boys in it. It's got... I even watched the sequel. Teen Wolf 2. T-O-O.
Have you watched the TV show?
I don't know. If I have, I'll watch the first 20 minutes of it. Or something like that. I'm pretty sure I put it on. But there's also another werewolf Netflix show as well. I know it's not on Netflix, but I watch it on Netflix. Which is a woman as a werewolf, and I watched the first half hour of that as well.
Was that Bitten?
It might have been Bitten.
Which I watched the first half an hour of that, and I thought, this is just shit.
Right, my initial thoughts, I may have mentioned this before as well, actually, now I think about it, was she... Ooh. So it starts off like sexy scene, or sexy, and then she gets dressed in the morning or something, and she puts her clothes back on, and she goes out, or she goes out, so she has sex, then disappears to become a werewolf, comes back again. And I just remember thinking,
yep.
Her makeup, right, Does she turn into a wolf and the wolf's still got makeup on?
Yes. You see a lot of wolves with blusher.
How has her makeup suddenly reapplied itself when she goes back to being a woman again? That doesn't make sense to me. But I'd like to see a werewolf who had makeup on before they transformed. And just see what that looks like.
You'd like to see that?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to see a werewolf, I want it to be funny. Before I die.
You know that it's a whole magical thing, Jason. It's like because it's magical, anything can happen.
You can't explain everything away with magic. I'll accept you can grow hair and change your body and all that, but if you've applied a layer of anything extra to your body, that should be under the hair. That's what I say.
Well, maybe it's werewolf makeup. They don't sell that in Superdrug, do they?
No, that's clearly a Boots thing. It's a number 7 range, I believe. Or possibly... Oh, fuck.
Have you ever bought makeup?
No. Well, like, other than, like, horror stuff, no. I've applied it, like, I did, like, I had to dress up like a drag thing couple of times. Once someone else did it. And I've got to be honest, I don't envy people who wear makeup. I'll specify women, but it could be anyone. I don't, just because the amount of effort that took to get that shit off before I went to bed was just a pain in the arse.
Oh, ouch.
And I just want to go home and go to bed. I don't want to be worrying about scraping crap off my face and trying to get shit off my eyes. So what I'm saying is, you don't need to bother women, or men, anyone. Just don't or clowns. Don't put makeup on. It's too much effort. Right, that wasn't my fault. There was no more trucks. I ran out of trucks. Yeah, I don't understand how people do that. But then I wasn't, some people use makeup for other reasons and to make themselves look better and to feel better. I don't think I look better either, to be fair. I don't make a good woman. I thought I would.
It's what's in your heart, though, Jason. Fuck.
The need for sleep. I feel the need.
Is that the new game for the Need for Speed turned into the Need for Sleep?
Yeah. The need for a kip. Right, I feel like I've done the same thing 100 times now. And every time it ends with there being no trucks.
Oh, well, this truck is on its side. You just got to move through them quicker.
But they're not. No, I'm getting ahead of them, though. So I think I should be going slower. But I might give Teen Wolf another try. There's so many shows like that sort of thing that I've not watched. I watched I watched the first part of the Teen Wolf. I watched the first part of Bitten. I watched the first part of... Actually, no, I watched quite a few of...
What?
What's that Archie Comics thing?
What? Archer?
Titles. No, Archie Comics. The... what the fuck's it? Rosewood? No, Rosewood's the... that's Citizen Kane, isn't it? Rosebud. Oh. Right, titles appear on the screen now. What this show's called. Riverdale. It's called Riverdale. And it's based on the Archie Comics characters, Sugar, do. Honey, honey, copyright. That one. It's, and Betty and Veronica and all those characters. And, yeah, I quite like the first few I saw. I've heard it goes way off the rails straight after the bits I've seen. It's quite a nice bit of intrigue. I enjoyed the ones I watched. And then just didn't watch anymore, as I keep doing with loads of things. I have no reason to stop watching things, but, got shit to do, ain't I? Sleep, Mason. Dive headfirst into a truck. Right, I'm just going to try and stay on this one truck and not fall off. See what happens. Oh, that's what happens. A countdown begins.
Oh, There's no slide. I want to be able to slide. Oh.
There's no swings. There's no roundabout. Jump, 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 jump. No jump. Oh fuck. I remember being the Abbott and Costello meet like Dracula and the werewolf and all that. That to me as a kid was quite scary. But looking back on it now, it's obviously just a silly comedy. Kids are freakishly weird. Something else I was thinking about today, the same thing. Oh, fuck!
Like what?
I don't know. To a kid, running across the top of trucks is quite dangerous, but to an adult, it's just another day out, isn't it? I don't really know.
Have you got to the forest yet?
I haven't got anywhere. I'm literally... It might as well be a traffic jam because I am just still in the same opening desert with some rocks in it. But I like to show the full range of this game, so I'm looking to you to show all the levels, and I will show how many times and ways you could die. There's another one. Oh. Fudge cake.
What? Oh! All my trucks disappeared. Well, they fell off a...
I don't know how you can get to the end of this. I don't get it. I mean, this is my type of game, to be honest. This is a trial and error, very basic controls. I'm very much a big fan of this. Like, you can be skilled at it. This is like Trials, in fact, or Limbo, or Inside. It's that sort of thing where it's very limited control.
Yeah.
And you just keep going and going and going and going, plodding at it until it works. I don't mind this sort of game. This is my sort of thing. I have... Oh, airtime. Got some good airtime. I have... That's what I was thinking about today, actually, now I think about it, was... As a kid, I was much more into... Fuck. I was much more into...
Fucking? Oh.
Well, I would have liked to, but it didn't happen. I was much more into... Jesus Christ, I'm going to die for a second. What was I into as a kid? Or just longer-winded games.
What were you into?
Now I prefer... I will still play quite a long story game, but it takes a hell of a lot of time for me to do that, and I have to decide I'm going to sit down and do it. I'll probably plod through an Assassin's Creed or a Red Dead Redemption quite happily. But I've still had The Witcher 3 for 5 years now. I've barely touched it. I've still had so many games that I just can't sit down and do. And they're good games, and I don't dislike them. I just haven't got the time or the inclination. So I'm much more likely, and I'm sure anyone who watches these videos can attest, I don't pick up complex or strategic or tactical games very quickly, or even basic walk from left to right punching people very quickly if there's any nuance to it at all. I will watch our video back and go, oh yeah, there's all that stuff I could have done. And then I'll go back and do it maybe. But so this, I'm much more now like, I like little short games. That's why I like the Gamepass stuff really, because it's free. You pick it up, you go, right, I'll give that a try. Yes, it works. No, it doesn't work. Did that hold my attention? Yeah, that was fun. I don't mind a game that only lasts 2 hours and it's just plodding along.
Yeah, there's something to be said about having just the right size game for the amount of time that you've got.
Yeah.
And if you do enjoy it, sometimes these games have DLC.
Absolutely. I think I've said this before. I did enjoy... I thought Brothers was a very good game in terms of the story it told, the time it took to tell it. It didn't overplay it. It had a range of levels. It had a nice gimmick to it that didn't seem to get in the way of it. and I felt I'd been on a journey when I finished that game. And I only played it, probably lasts maybe 2 to 4 hours. Even that I think I had to play over the course of 2 days.
How the fuck did I get up here?
Oh. Having said that, I'm still on the part 1 of this freaking game. There are no trucks! Right, I'm going to try another strategy. Can't say strategy.
And what's that?
I don't know what it is yet. It's just not doing what I've been doing.
Well, we're going to have to try that when we play it next time.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Vehicle reversing.
So that was Clustertruck. A very nice, frustrating game.